Hello, beautiful friends. It's Lemuria here with a medium message. Pick a card for you. When I was checking in today pre reading, I was guided to use the awesome Lumerian deck, which I have not used, I don't believe, for a mediumship reading yet. So this is going to be a little different for me, and I was guided strongly to focus on the energy of healing for individuals that do need some healing internally, which may or may not have anything to do with the particular loved one that passed or that is coming through to communicate. However, the overarching message they were giving me was that healing was necessary at this time on some level. And so I am going to bring forth whatever healing messages your loved ones are looking to bring you today. And I'm really excited to allow that space to get created for them to bring you whatever you need, whether that's healing the relationship with them, healing the relationship with yourself, with someone else, or any other aspect of your life that could use a little bit of healing energy right now. I feel as a collective, there's actually a lot of things coming to the surface quite intentionally for us to be able to heal them. And when I say that, I know that is not necessarily the most comfortable thing. So that's the thing of it, is healing is amazing, powerful, really profound. However, the journey to get there can be very uncomfortable. It can be disruptive. It can be challenging. It can be kind of like what it is happening kind of energy, you know? And I do feel that right now, with our planetary alignments and a lot of the things that are happening in the world, we are really getting the opportunity to go deep and to heal some things that have been permeating around our souls and our energy for a very long time. And I feel a lot of people's loved ones, like my whole body is, all my hair is standing on end right now. It's just like that powerful, where your lines, your lineage, and not just one or two loved ones, but like full lines are rallying at this time to help their physical families, components, loved ones, all that really coming in to help make huge strides at this time where we are as a collective being given an enormous set of opportunities to transcend our old states of hurt and wounding. And that one is just one, but it's feeling sturdy. And so I'm really getting this sense that your loved ones are wanting to come through to help make this healing journey easier for you. Okay, so easier, less challenging, more efficient, and gentler. Whatever that means to you guys is going to be different, but it's more of a like in the flow kind of healing versus the universe is grabbing you and throwing you into a healing crisis. Okay, so this is more choosing. Whew, clearly that one. More choosing what you want and what you need. And I'm just going to look at this bottom one. And the bottom energy, I'm just going to call it in, is Mount Shasta. So Mount Shasta could be relevant for some of you. I'll just give you that peak, but I'm getting a strong energy of that, and mountains in general. So mountains might be important for some of you. The mountains might be a place where you receive a lot of deep healing as well. I absolutely love mountains. Did an amazing healing retreat in the Colorado Rockies this summer in July with a beautiful group of individuals who did really just want to saturate in the healing energy, and Mother Earth is really great at helping us with that. So some of you need that message that your loved ones are going to commune with you in the mountains, in that energy, whether physically there or you just imagine yourself in the mountains on a mountaintop working with that mountain energy to really come into a deep state of healing. So I am going to have all the timestamps down below for you guys, card 1, 2, and 3. And I invite you to check in with your heart, connect with your loved ones consciously before choosing, and all the other things that you need are going to be down in the description box below. So I'm going to start over here with card 1. So card 1, we are getting the third eye chakra and pineal perspective with the number 8. And so I'm just taking this in. And again, I found it fascinating that your loved ones wanted to use this deck because it's a very complex and deep deck in terms of interpretations. And so this particular one, so the number 8 could be relevant to your loved one that's coming through. Third eye, they could have been a very intuitive individual, or they could be coming to you in intuitive visions, in your dreams, in sort of these little blurbs of insights. Even just the color blue could have been their, I'm hearing the color of their eyes or their favorite color. Now we're also seeing a pyramid in there as well. So I am just going to call out that too as like this energy of Egypt, of ancient wisdom, of higher knowledge and wisdom, higher consciousness. So this individual may have been more spiritual in nature, or could have, for some of you, taught you about spirituality, or is wanting to help teach you about spirituality. And so interestingly, I am getting this feeling, and this again, always take what resonates for you personally. I am channeling for a collective. And so some of the things may not apply. What I am feeling for some of you when it comes to this sort of spiritual energy is that it could be that some of you have wounds around spirituality, or specifically, more specifically rather, organized religion. And so this individual is also kind of putting that energy out of like looking at your relationship with organized religion, or one in particular where there may have been wounding that occurred, and looking at what is it that might need to be healed there in order for you to have a more expanded pineal connection. So that intuitive center, because our third eye here and our pineal is in the back, and they work in tandem with one another to connect with our intuitive center and higher consciousness. And so in doing that, it is important for us to not be carrying around the wounds that we may have had from the past. So for me personally, I'll share a tiny nugget. So I was raised Catholic, and there were many things that I went through with that journey of feeling like I believed in certain things, but I didn't really like a lot of the ego human aspects that got merged in and were being kind of taken over by man, women, people, and humans in general, right? Saying this is what, God really means, or this is what Jesus was really saying, when I have my own personal connection with these energies, and there were conflicts of what I was feeling in my heart and my intuitive center in terms of what these humans were telling me were the translations of these words from ascended masters and avatars. And so I do truly believe that Jesus is an ascended master who shared great wisdom with us. I also, however, feel that in my healing journey with it, because I pushed it all away for a long time, and then I was like, okay, then the universe put me into a situation where it was like, well, we're going to put you right in the middle of it, and we're going to make you heal this. And it wasn't a negative thing like, I'm going to make you heal this. It was more like, I was given this amazing opportunity to heal it, to now be really closely aligned with the energy of Jesus as an ascended master. I may not practice through Catholicism anymore, but I no longer have any blockages in my spiritual connection due to wounds from my past and my past experiences with organized religion, or figureheads from organized religion. And so for some of you, it feels like the healing that wants to come through with this loved one is to help heal energies surrounding organized religion, or your own spirituality, your spiritual gifts, any aspect of you that is in some way had a wounding either from this life or past lives. So again, like all of my hair is standing on end on my body right now with this feeling of like, okay, this is a really immense one for card one. Some of your loved ones are just saying like, the wounding, it's like you are this amazing spiritual being, you're here to do these great things, but it's like there could be these unconscious blocks, because it's like, well, I only want to do it over here, we're just going to push this aside. But if there's wounding there, we can't push it aside and still be able to move forward. And so seeking, in this case, I'm hearing higher perspectives, and ones that are coming more from your heart center. So I'm getting this glimmer of greens in here. It's more teals, but it's subtle. But what it's pointing to is, okay, so coming back into that, we had a pause in the video there. unexpectedly. So again, this has been happening here and there in waves, and sometimes I go huge stretches with the video recordings not freezing up on me. And granted, I know we did enter Mercury retrograde, so it could be the computer thing doing its jam. I don't like to blame things on things. I just say it could be because of this, or it could just be your loved ones decided to freeze my video because they really wanted me to pause and reiterate the whole higher consciousness and higher perspective connection. And as I was mentioning, the connection between our third eye and our heart, so that what we are seeing, what we are perceiving, is actually heart centered and not coming from a wounded place. So we can be highly intuitive individuals, but if we are still carrying wounds around, that is creating sort of like a filter. So if I could use something, I don't have anything handy, I'm looking for like relatively transparent things. So things where it's like you could have it here, and let's say it's like this, where I can get like little glimpses of light through my fingers, right? So I can get these hints of intuitive guidance, but there's still something in front of me that is hindering my clarity. And if there is wounding within us, there are going to then be, consciously or unconsciously, hindrances to the clarity of our intuitive vision and guidance. And so your loved ones are really wanting to help you heal that area of you so that you can perceive more clearly the things that are actually happening. And so this is a really powerful energy, and it could relate nothing to organized religion for you personally, and it might have everything to do with allowing your intuitive insights, clarity, and ability to be healed and cleared from past hurts and wounds so that you can actually utilize it to the greatest extent of your abilities. Like innately, when you're fully healed and whole, oh my gosh, it's like there's so many things that one can perceive, but it's a journey in life of getting to that more and more healed state. Now, this for many of you could also be layers of healing. So as you heal each layer, then you're going to perceive more clearly and more clearly, infinitely so, until you exit your physical body. And then, of course, you're perceiving all the things from that pure state of consciousness once more. And that is how your loved one is perceiving things. So I really encourage you to commune with them and to connect with your third eye and your intuition to see like what signs have they been giving you in nature. The number 8 is coming in again. It might not have anything to do with them specifically in terms of birth, death, dates of relevant significance. It could have everything to do with this person's going to give you the number 8 to show you their presence. 8 is also the number associated with the infinity symbol and that beautiful ebb and flow of movement that we have the capacity to do. So I really encourage you to explore that number as well if there's a resonance on more of a soul or higher consciousness level for you. So I hope this message really helped and that you felt that connection and makes sense. And I do appreciate your likes, shares, and subscribes, and appreciate all of you so much for coming to the channel. So have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care. So moving over to card 2 is Awakened Awareness. And with this one, we are getting the number 17. I'm also seeing it inverted as 71 and added up as 8. And interestingly, that number was also kind of tied into card 1. So I am getting a lot of this energy that the loved ones are coming through. They really want to help people connect with the higher consciousness, not just because you can communicate with them more clearly, but for your own awakened awareness, like healing to help you become more aware of who you are, what you are, and all of the facets. So like this to me is almost like looking like through a kaleidoscope, or I'm also seeing a diamond. And if you were to like, and I'm just like, right, this is like the world's biggest diamond, right? I don't know how big it actually is, but like looking through a diamond where you're seeing all that like reflected energy and the different images and the different little quadrants of things. That is so cool to be able to see these parts all from different angles, from different dimensions in different ways. Okay. So it's almost as though it is your awareness itself that your loved one is trying to help you come into a more healed state with. So when I say this, it's like we can have wounding that happens that creates a distortion in us, that creates an ability to not have a deeper level of awareness of all the things that are actually occurring in our life. So, this particular loved one, it's like, it's interesting. I'm getting different messages relating to flowers right now as well. And so I am sort of seeing how there's sort of this energy of the flower, but then there's this eye inside of it. And so perhaps there's certain flowers, carnations are one that's popping out, and I actually have some in the back today, which I was kind of interesting that that would, of course, line up this way as it always tends to for us here. And so it's like this perception of you being the other. So, like being able to almost imagine yourselves in the shoes of the other for the purposes of being able to be more compassionate to them and more understanding for their experience. And so, with this, I'm feeling that some of you maybe have felt misunderstood or felt misrepresented in certain situations. And you're feeling like this desire to have clarity so that it isn't this like kaleidoscope of different pieces where it's like, can we really pick out what any one thing is here? Kind of. I can kind of tell this is an eye in the center, but the rest is just very abstract in nature. Now, when things are more abstract, it does leave us more open to using our imaginations and creating different types of interpretations. So the interpretations could be more diverse versus it being like, this is a carnation, right? So when we look at it, if you know what a carnation is, you're not necessarily going to look at the carnation and say, oh, this is a rose. You're like, oh, I know this is a carnation because this is what I was taught to believe was a carnation. So this has a lot to do with perceptions, I feel, like healing your perceptions of yourself, healing your perceptions of others. And right now, there's sort of this state for some of you where things are just these different components, and maybe they actually are feeling this movement because I'm just wanting to make this movement. So it's like nothing is fixed, nothing is solid. You can't quite make out certain aspects of your life, or maybe certain aspects of other people that you're dealing with or encountering. And so this is your loved ones stepping in to start working with you to help you get clarity and to help you have a shift in your perception so that you can essentially, you know, if you had those little kaleidoscope things as a kid where you could have it be a more clear image, right? Versus all the little pieces that are swirling around. And so this to me is like maybe even some aspect of your life. It's like all these different pieces are all over the place, but you just need the whole puzzle. You don't need all the pieces of the puzzle strewn about on the floor. You just need all the pieces put together in front of you in one beautiful, easy to understand thing. And right now, the wounding or the hurt or the energy within you on some level is preventing that from happening, preventing the clarity from happening. And so I really feel this strong connection again. So pink can be both heart chakra and like this is sort of this pinkish violety sort of crown chakra energy with a little bit of the blues. So a little bit of like, you know, throat chakra as well as intuitive chakra, you know, like we're getting all of these sort of vibes from heart through the crown. And so to me, that's really coming into greater alignment in your upper chakras, like doing some more healing or balancing there so that you can actually start getting to a place of being able to, I'm hearing, let your heart blossom. So I'm also getting that as an analogy as well. So almost like the I is actually your heart, the I am, and the blossoming energy of that coming out for you in such a way that you are allowing yourself to love. You're allowing yourself to give love and to receive love and to feel that energy flowing through you on a daily basis, which is of course going to expand your view. Because we could also say, like, looking through the kaleidoscope, I remember being a kid and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And so it's also the more you can perceive clearly through your heart and the higher consciousness energies, the more you can see the beauty in the vast diversity of components that make up our reality. So while you might not get what some other people are doing or other things that are being created around you, they are all components of the whole that make us up. And it's very important to, at the very least, be able to acknowledge that difference, but also come into a place of lovingly accepting the differences, even when there isn't full understanding of why they're there or what's the driver for them. And so there might also be some healing for some of you related to like not necessarily being able to understand other people and how they're operating in life. And so this loved one is really inviting you to look at like how you're perceiving other people, other friends and family. So for some of you, this does feel like a family member who is, now that they have transitioned, trying to look at like how can they show you where the other people are coming from in your family so that you can make your own peace. You can decide how you want to engage with your other, friends, family, loved ones in a way that's going to honor you, but that's also going to respect the differences. So it's very kind of complex, and I'm not going to go more into that in this particular reading. You guys can, pop in the description box below if you want to dive more deeply into that. I do work with people in that arena quite frequently. And so it's like processing those family dynamics and what's best for you and what healing do you need to happen to get your own clear vision of what is most important for you. How do you want to move forward? How do you want to engage with life, right? And so let me just feel into if there's any other nuggets of wisdom from this loved one. Okay, yeah, they're giving me just that really simple. It's like sometimes it's just that simple. It's funny. So the eye is also this sense of watching over. You're being watched over, you're being protected, you're being guided. And so do really follow your heart and your guidance, even if you're not totally sure, you're not fully understanding how you're being led down a path in terms of your own life. And like, okay, I feel like I need to talk to this person, or I feel like I need to go to this place right now, but I don't really know why, and I'm not even entirely sure what I'm going to say. They're just telling you, they are protecting you, guiding you, and they will help give you the words to communicate yourself clearly and what it is, your message that you need to communicate, or want to communicate rather clearly to whomever it is. And so I'm also getting the sense for some people there's communication that needs to happen that they are going to help foster for you. They're going to like line up a meeting or line up a dynamic, or this person might call you out of nowhere to say hey, or they might show up and say hey, that kind of thing, just to give you the opportunity to heal, speak your truth, allow your heart to open in a different way. And so a little bit more complex and dynamic for this one in terms of interpretation, but your loved ones really just want to help you open your heart and come into a space of really seeing the beauty in your life, seeing the beauty in life itself, and the dynamic, the beautiful dynamic that's created by the vast diversity of components coming together in one space at one time to make our experience itself. So thank you so much for picking card 2, and I will connect again soon. Have a fantastic week. So I'm going to go ahead and shift over here to card 3, which is the solar plexus and radiant illumination with the number 4. So whenever doing these medium ones, I always tell you guys like the numbers are relevant. So number 4 could be significant for you guys on some level or another. I am also feeling this very strong like empowerment energy as well. Like yes, we're talking solar plexus, which is our house of personal power, but this energy coming through, like this really strong divine healing energy. So when I work with light to heal and energy to heal, gold is the highest vibrational one that I work with. If I'm not working with, let's say, the rainbow itself, where we're getting the full spectrum simultaneously, that's a little different. But gold is one of the most powerful healing energies that we can utilize. And I'm really feeling that this loved one is wanting to help you illuminate aspects of yourself that do still need to be healed, or really to give you this surge of empowerment that you have been doing an amazing job healing. I'm actually getting this a little bit more for this pile, where it's like, yes, you still have healing to do, but holy cow, you guys have just powerhoused your healing, like insanely powerhoused your healing. Like all of these different components coming off here, this is all, to me, what they're showing me is new neural networks, new pathways that have been created from all of your healing, and they are extending far beyond your physical body to impact the lives and the energies and the experiences positively of those around you. Because as a radiant light, as radiant illumination, you can see all of that. And I do want to bring it a little closer. Maybe you can see how it's those sort of ring, they're not quite circular rings, but just those emanations that are kind of echoing out of that one central point, right? So we're getting just this vibrant energy. And so I'm actually, this is beautiful. So what I'm feeling most for you guys is actually, this is kind of like a keep up the great work. Your healing is going fantastic. You're reaching broader and broader arenas with your healing. And it's this encouragement of stay the course. Like, it is okay to have a life that is a journey of healing. In many respects, that is part of why we came here. Some of us more than others, right? So, like, as a healer personally, my journey of healing will not be complete in my mind necessarily until I transition. And even then, it's like, yes, when I'm in a non-physical state, I'm not suffering. But if I choose to incarnate again, there could still be things that I would need to clear out just to have that experience, right? So it's like some of us did come here to experience the reality of being a healer, of healing, of helping others heal, of facilitating that expansion of consciousness, of facilitating radiant illumination. Okay, so I do feel that many of you who chose this, maybe in the field of healing, maybe just rock stars at healing, and you're really passionate about it. You love growth and self-development, and it really nourishes you in beautiful ways because you came here to understand it very intimately and very powerfully. And so your loved ones are coming through with that kudos, with that big warm embrace of love and golden energy, to show you how proud they are of you, to show you how excited they are that you are choosing to break through all of these things, not only for your family, but for the collective itself. Because every single one of us that heals is taking that wounded energy out of the whole and essentially making the entirety of the whole more consciously united. And so this is such a beautiful message, because the healing journey can at times be very intimidating. It can be very exhausting, very challenging, but equally so, it can be very powerful, profound, enlightening, just like magical beyond words. It really can be so beyond words. So yes, we sometimes have to go through these incredible trenches where we're like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. All I know is I have to do whatever I can to make my way out in whatever methods and path that looks like for me. And so they're really wanting you to understand the power of the strides that you've made for yourself and the collective. And so as we are experiencing all of these dynamics on a collective whole, with so much hurt and wounding coming to the surface, which of course has been here for a very, very long time, it's coming to the surface so that we can heal it, to clear it, to release it, to actually come into love and understanding and compassion for each other on a whole. So I do feel that you guys who picked this are probably more the front runners in your family for that. Could also be just individuals that really like have a passion for helping the collective through healing all the things you can, and then, as I said, like creating the space for facilitating that in your own unique ways. And so your loved ones coming through energetically. So I'm just getting this sense, water is really important as well. So I'm feeling for a few of you, I'm unconsciously hearing you say, but I need more details from my loved one. So I'm going to bring those for you to the best of my ability in this moment, of course. So I am feeling this sense of like water being very significant to this particular loved one. Also, like these colors on the cards, yes, the gold, but there's also this really rich, deep purple coming through as well. And this sense of inner knowing or inner wisdom. I'm feeling for some of you this very like wise energy, whether this was a grandmother or whether it was simply an individual who was what you would have considered kind of a wise leader or an elder energetically that maybe isn't older than you but had a sense of wisdom that seemed beyond their years. So that could be relevant for some of you. For some, it definitely does feel very grandmotherly or very like divine feminine, like nurturing, loving, life giving energy I'm feeling. And so that is important. Also, coming in to kind of connect with the solar energy, the sunshine, this again sunflower energy, so flower energy. So this individual may have had a name that was of a flower nature, like sun. I've never met anyone named Sunflower. I'm sure they exist, but like something like Rose or Daisy, those types of things could be relevant for some of you. And outside of that, your loved ones are just like, they're saying just take our embrace and ask us for more clarity as the days and time goes by. So also utilizing that number 4 as well. And interestingly, I'm seeing two different things that could be relevant for the individual as well. I'm seeing both feathers and I'm seeing antlers when I look at this. And so could be the energy of feathers, so birds being significant, angels being significant to this loved one, or antlers, stag, deer, or antler medicine. So it could be either feminine or masculine within that, right? So it's like in some deer species, whitetail, just the masculine have antlers, but there are some others within that who do also both the male and female have antlers. So it's not gender specific either with that being said. So this like little closing nuggets for you, but the whole thing is it's just they're really proud of your progress, really grateful for everything that you've been doing. They want you to know they are right there with you, empowering you, encouraging you to continue this healing journey, even though at times it does feel so intense. You just want to be like, I'm out, I'm done. They're like, just stay the course. We will help you get through those times when you want to tap out. Promise you that we'll be there with you, loving you, supporting you, guiding you, and shining that light, like shining the sun upon you, even when the sun is invisible in the sky. So thank you so much for tapping in, for choosing card 3, and I'm sending you so much love and light for an amazing week. Take care.